brand new episode of Mighty Mac Week in Review. My name's Dave Molinaro. I'm joined as usual by my partner, Sarah Pasternak. We want to apologize about last week. Mother Nature did win with the snow. Our schedules got jumbled up. We ended up having class. We actually do go. We're students, so some things were more important, but we're back this week.
Yeah, especially with the snow this past week. We had a busy week on campus. We had 2 basketball doubleheaders, and the track team was able to compete last Friday. The men's basketball team hosted Newman last Wednesday and Centenary on Saturday in front of 2 really great Alumni Hall crowds. Let's take a look at the highlights.
Mike Piekarski uses the great screen from Tony Calamaro and drives hard to finish with the one hand for 2 of his 15 points. The Mighty Macs would take a 39-35 lead into halftime. Trailing by 2 with 5 minutes remaining in the second half, the Mighty Macs show off their hustle as Matt Simon dives on the floor, flips it forward to Roy Farrell Jr., who scores these 2 big points of his season-high 31 to tie the game up. Midway through the second half, another freshman, Sean Doherty, gets left along on the left side of the wing, buries the three-pointer to put the Mighty Macs up 58-57, the 16th lead change of this game. Still down 3 with 4 minutes to go, Rodney Duncan sinks this long three-pointer to tie the game up at 65, but Newman would eventually pull away late to defeat the Mighty Macs 83-75. The Macs look for a quick bounce back, hosting Centenary on Saturday, and Cordell Lord comes up with this big steal in the first half and finds Rod Melton ahead of him, who finishes at the rim, getting fouled, headed to the line for the old-fashioned three-point play. Immaculata would trail 36-35 at half. The Mighty Macs swing the ball around the perimeter, and Rodney Duncan finds himself in his sweet spot and hits this big three to put the Mighty Macs up by 2 points early in the second half. He scored a season-high 25 points. Just minutes later, the Mighty Macs work hard on the offensive glass, and Mike Piekarski drives the baseline and feeds it to Mike Sturdivant, who gets the putback to put the Mighty Macs up by 4. Fast forward to overtime, tied at 72-72. Roy Farrell Jr. buries this jumper just inside the three-point line for 2 of his game-high 28 points. The Macs would get the overtime win, 85-78. We're joined here by Mike Piekarski, a freshman on the Immaculata men's basketball team. Mike, thanks for coming in.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
So the Macs have tied for 5th place right now in the conference, fighting for one of those final few playoff spots with a couple games left to go. We've had a rough, out-of-conference schedule, but early on they've been doing good. Can you talk about the team as a whole up to this point?
Yeah, we've been playing well. We had a lot of injuries starting off the season, and we're finally getting back to 100%. Non-conference was tough for us, but in conference we've been playing well.
Mm-hmm. Like you said, we turn it on come CSAC time, and this past weekend we had a big game against Centenary, kind of a revenge game in the minds of a lot of Macs players. Ended up being an overtime win. Can you talk about that game?
It was good. They beaten us the last 3 times they played us, coming back to last year in the playoffs. They knocked the guys out, and they beat us this year at Centenary, so we wanted to come in our house and beat them.
Mm-hmm. I was actually at that game for a road broadcast at Centenary, so it was a big game for me too. I was excited to get back. And if you remember the turning point in the game, it was tied right off the tip-off in overtime. You had a big end-one bucket. Can you talk about that play, which fired up the team and I think was the catalyst to get the win?
It was a good play. Roy stopped the guy on defense. I stole the ball, and I just went down 2-on-1. I tried to make a play.
Mm-hmm. And it ended up getting us a big win. We have another game tonight. It was snowed out earlier, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Gwinnett Mercy's coming into town. The big dogs in the CSAC, undefeated. What have you seen from them so far, and what's the game plan heading into tonight's game?
They're very good. They're undefeated in conference, so we just want to play hard and hope for the best. And we just want to – they beat them guys last year, so they're beatable, and we just go out there and play hard and see what happens.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you remember, I met him early in the summer. You remember this? So I work at a restaurant down the road called Mackenzie's, and I heard about Mike coming in. I was like, this freshman from Delaware, St. Elizabeth's, good player. And he had a name tag on, I guess it was freshman orientation.
Yeah.
So I met him over the summer. I'm like, wow, nice kid, good parents. Like, I hope he's doing well. He's already had 10 starts. He's averaging just under 10 points and 7 boards per game. So doing well.
Yep.
Good luck the rest of the season tonight. Big game. Make sure you tune in on GoMightyMacs.com for the live broadcast. Thank you. Third time's the charm for this big CSAC game tonight. It already got moved twice. Immaculata men's basketball is going to host Gwinnett Mercy tonight in Alumni Hall, and then later this week have road games at Cabrini and at Marywood.
The women's team was looking to shake off a losing streak as they hosted Newman and Notre Dame this past week. Let's take a look at those highlights as well. Trailing by as many as 19 points in the third quarter, the Macs charged hard against Newman in a tense fourth quarter as Giannakashi nice and easy feeds this beautiful backdoor bounce pass to Riley Larkin, who finishes at the rim to cut the deficit to 8 points. With 2.5 minutes to go, Riley Larkin dishes it down low to Teresa Walsh, who keeps her composure and gets the shot off to go for 2 of her 14 points on a perfect 7-for-7 shooting night, which reduced to a 7-point IU deficit. Trailing by 9 at the 2-minute mark, Giannakashi knocks down this triple from the wing to bring IU within 6 points at 68-62 as they look to complete the comeback. After getting a stop on the defensive end, it's Riley Larkin's turn once again to hit a 3 and cut the deficit to just 3, but the Mac rally would come up just 1 point short in an intense 68-67 loss. In Saturday's contest, we'll fast forward to the end of the third quarter where Teresa Walsh gets fouled but is able to finish the layup to send the game into the fourth quarter tied 44-44 against Notre Dame. Leading by just 2 midway through the fourth quarter, Tamara Laws and Dia Veneziano are fighting together as Laws takes a pass from Veneziano at the top of the key and drives hard to get the bucket. Off the inbounds play with 3.5 minutes to go, Riley Larkin sneaks into the corner and buries a three-pointer for 3 of her 21 points and a 7-point Mighty Mac lead. On the ensuing possession, the Macs turned some defense into offense with a block by Veneziano and a finish by Laws on the other end, who had 22 points and 12 rebounds as IU would top the Gators 64-54. The women's basketball team will be hosting 2 home contests this week. They have Gwen and Mercy tonight and then Keystone on Wednesday, so make sure to come out for that. And then they are traveling to Marywood on Saturday.
The track and field team was in action this past weekend at Widener. Let's see how they did. The women's track team had a strong showing as freshman Jennifer Burdenier won the 800 meter and Diana Cusick beat the competition at the 1 mile. The Mighty Macs had the top 3 finishers in both events. The men's team also performed well as Dominic Zengel placed second in the 800 meter and Alex Felderstein also finished second in the shot put. The track and field team will be back in action this weekend when they head to East Stroudsburg. Just a reminder that there's a doubleheader tonight in Alumni Hall. The women play at 6, the men at 8, and then also Wednesday the women play at home in Alumni Hall.
And that's all we have for this episode. Thanks for sticking it out with us despite the snow last week. My name's Sarah Pasternak.
My name's Dave Molinaro.
And go Macs!